We appreciate you being here, and don't go anywhere because there are still amazing things to come within.
When the hard times come.
As the flu, which it's not. It is many times deadlier. Comparing the coronavirus to the flu is like comparing Jeffrey Dahmer to O.J. Simpson. I'm not saying O.J. is great. I'm just saying he would have even filled up Dahmer's vegetable drawer. And bad information is not only frustrating, to the extent that it motivates people to ignore stay-at-home measures, it's both dangerous and could actually end up forcing us to stay at home for longer.
The fuck out of here, douchebag.
How can people possibly believe?
Look, this is serious, you know? Now's the time to really think about social distancing, washing your hands.
Ghost, my hero, he's ordinary. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. It's the as we know it part that's most... today. Here we are. It's the coronavirus. There are 4 rules to remember. Most important, number 1, stay at home. Stay at home, stay at home, stay at home. Don't go out unless you have to. If it's not important, if it's not an emergency, if you don't have to get groceries, stay at home tonight. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We'll celebrate in 4 months. Number 2, wash your hands for 20 seconds. Every time you come into or out of your house, wash your hands over and over and over again. And don't sing happy birthday twice. It's too depressing. Find some other song. 3, act like you're already sick. Act like you may already have the virus and you don't want to be within 6 feet of anyone else because you could pass it on to them. They pass it on to someone else. They pass it on to 2 other people. You don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. Number 4, and maybe most important, be careful where you get your information from. I'm a former pop star. Yeah, but don't trust social media. Go to the CDC website. Go to trusted news services for your information. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Stay at home. We'll celebrate in 4 months. I love you all. There's a longer version of this on michaelstipe.com if you're sadistic. Okay. I love you.
At a certain point, maybe around March 18th, March 19th, March 20th, when his fever was staying and going up, I woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't breathe. And I needed a nebulizer for the first time in 30 years. And I have this inhaler that I use, a rescue inhaler, and I couldn't function without it. And that's when I started to get really scared because of all the stuff, you know, you can't help but watch the news every day. And I'm like, oh my God, like, wow, all the crazy stuff I did, like, this is it, type of face, like, this is the way it ends. So we were able to get a test, and I took that chance, and I tested myself. We could get 1 test, so I tested myself. It came back a week later, positive, and I knew it. I already knew it. I knew that that's what it was going to say. And then, you know, at one point when he started throwing up and saying that he had chest pains and that it hurt to breathe, that's the point where you just kind of like, okay, are we going to the hospital? Like, what are we doing right now? Because this is the scariest thing I've ever been through in my whole life. So, we were a couple of days maybe out of trying to like see if we needed to do something more. But at this point, what can you do, right? There's nothing you can do. You ride it out. And, we started to get better, and slowly, his temperature stayed the longest. But I started to feel better. I stopped being nauseous. I never had a fever. And it really is just a roller coaster. I had a sore throat. First I woke up and my sore throat was on the right side of my throat. Then it was on the left side of my throat the next day. Then it was both sides the next day. Then I couldn't breathe. Then I was breathing fine, but I didn't feel there's no rhyme or reason to this. And at one point I was praying, like, and I realized how ridiculous I sounded. Like, I thought they told us our kids were going to be okay. We were told that our kids are going to be okay. And I think when people started explaining what this disease is, it was too early to be able to name it completely and tell everybody what to look for. And, you know, I've talked to so many people that can't get tested, friends that are like, yeah, I think we were sick in February. Like, oh, I think we had that. I mean, I don't know. I think testing is really, really important. It's very controversial to people that I was able to get my hands on a test. I would say two things to that. I would say you should be angry that I can get a test and you can't. But being angry at me is not going to help anything. It's not going to solve the issue of the fact that you can't get your hands on a test. You should be angry about that. And we should work together to try and change that. And number two, tell me anybody with a sick 3-year-old that if they could get their hands on a test wouldn't take it. And if they say that, I'm calling bull. So yes, it is, the healthcare system is jacked. Government is in a way failing us by not being prepared. But this is where we're at, and thank God we're getting better. And, you know, the first thing I wanted to do, whether I had it or not, was how can I help? Just like you, Ellen, everything you do is of service. I mean, you make the world such a better place. And so that's what the rest of us want to do. And that's a huge point in all this, is that every single person in the world right now gets to be a superhero just by staying home, just by washing their hands, by buying their elderly neighbors groceries if they shouldn't be at the store, calling a loved one and making them laugh, donating masks, saying a prayer for a healthcare worker.
Hold on. I'm gonna call bullshit. Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up.
Steering clear of other people. Some find it a bit uncomfortable to be with yourselves. Listen, I believe in you. I know you can do it. In 1944, we asked guys to wade into the waters of Normandy under heavy fire from the German machine. You know what your country needs from you now? Stay clear of other people. Don't sneeze in public. Wash your hands. Stay home. Or stay on your boat or in your tent. America's faced big challenges before.
Ooh, look. A children's book. My Hero is You. How Kids Can Fight COVID-19. Sponsored by the IASC, the Interagency Standing Committee? Sounds like an NGO. Oh, here's the introduction.
My Hero is You is a book written for children around the world affected by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Laid in bed that night and did not feel like a hero at all. She felt upset. She wanted to go to school, but her school was closed. She wanted to see her friends, but was not safe. Sarah warned the coronavirus to stop scaring the world.
If I have you, then I could tell all the children in the world about the coronavirus. I can be a hero. But wait, is it safe to travel with the coronavirus around?
Only with me, kid. Nothing can harm you when we're together.
And then Ario said,
Maybe I can help with that. They can't see the coronavirus, but they can see me. Jump on, but please sit on both sides of my wings as they are at least 1 meter apart.
And he was playing Imagine, and there was something so powerful and pure about this video.
hey, you will realize what you say, we don't give a fuck. Imagine there's no Hollywood. I wonder if you can. No need for giant egos. The pandemic's all about them, showing all the world we're awesome. We will say you are douchebags and ask you to please shut up. I hope someday you will realize you are part of the problem.
Y'all standing in the love. Yeah, so grateful.
Hey, what's happening? It's me, Jack Black. It's time to flatten the curve. Not just that curve, this curve, too.
Hey everybody, stay at home.
National partners like Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, we will not be able to address this pandemic and ensure it never happens again.
Down here in Hawaii, where we have sequestered ourselves away. And I was asked by the World Health Organization to say a few words and to share some of my feelings with you all. And these are turbulent times. These are anguished times. We are all suffering greatly. We go to sleep with a suffering in our hearts, and we wake up with one each day.
So grateful.
Global Citizen and the World Health Organization have been working non-stop with corporations, governments, and institutions to directly contribute to response efforts, tracking the spread of the virus, and ensuring frontline workers get essential supplies through the Solidarity Response Fund. They are working on raising the money, while we work on bringing you a little bit of joy.
When the hard times come.
I hope everybody's keeping safe and keeping healthy and washing your hands and keeping distance.
Using these words social distancing, but it really should just be physical distancing that we're talking about.
Hi, this is Lady Gaga. Over the past few weeks, we've witnessed unbelievable acts of bravery, courage, and kindness all around the world in response to this global pandemic. Everyone from the doctors and nurses on the front lines to the volunteer mental health specialists, the grocery store workers, the delivery workers, the mail workers have all shown unprecedented levels of kindness throughout the fight against COVID-19. In partnership with Global Citizen and the World Health Organization, we have already raised millions of dollars for the WHO's Solidarity Response Fund. We want to get to the other side of this pandemic, and I know you do too. But tonight is not a fundraiser.
Hey folks, welcome back to One World Together at Home, supporting the vital work of the World Health Organization and in celebration of healthcare workers everywhere. If you see a healthcare worker, you're going to want to give them a high five, but don't. We have to make sure they don't get contaminated.
Oscar the Grouch here to tell you to stay home. I don't want to see your smiling face. I don't want to smell your pretty perfume. I don't want to be anywhere near you. Hey, this social distancing thing is kind of a Grouch's dream.